One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.
I think as I reflect back on individuals have been in AMA and now have moved to whether it's senior leadership or athletic director or commissioner positions, in particular out in Division I, like why are they rock stars and why were they successful both when they were at AMA, and that's how that's continued into their current positions. I think it's the case. A lot of people, most everyone, goes to the academic and membership affairs staff because you have an interest in the subject area. That's one of the primary drivers as to why you would choose to have that step and go through that stage in your career. Generally in AMA, that's the compliance world, the legislative world, and then the governance support that you provide throughout Division 1, 2, or 3, depending on your assignments and everything. With all of that, you get a very wide exposure to a variety of issues and topics, and you have the opportunity then to gain deep knowledge and understanding of the regulatory world. But there's a big secret that I think with the people that have left and the rock stars that have come out of that staff is that they're through AMA and the functions and the responsibilities that group has. The big secret is that you have the opportunity to gain even more experiences that translate into being an effective and impactful administrator on campus or at the conference office. So an example I'll give is event management. A lot of people wouldn't think that through the AMA, working in AMA, that you would have the opportunity to get some event management experience, but you can. And an example I'll provide is one that I had when I was there. I oversaw our regional rules seminars, which they were 2 sites that happen annually, and over 1,000 attendees are coming. So through that, learning how to run an event, learning how negotiations with hotels, working with food and beverage issues, all those types of things. That type of experience carries over then that you aren't just branded as a compliance or a legislative person, that type of thing. So all that knowledge and understanding that stuff's a given. And in a lot of cases, that provides you some instant credibility when you step on campus or the conference office. And it's often because you had that exposure or you have that knowledge and understanding of that compliance regulatory world and the governance issues. That's what gets you in the door, if you will, on campus. But I think it's pretty quick that the team that you're joining on campus sees everything else that you bring to the table. So who are the rock stars and why were they the rock stars? The skills that you develop in AMA, the typical things that you look at, the analytical skills, research skills, public speaking, with the educational sessions that we would do, whether at conference meetings or at regional rules seminars, otherwise you're having to stand in front of hundreds of people and present on topics, knowledge, understanding, and have to deal with being peppered with questions. The communication skills, both verbal and written, and through that inherently, learning how to understand and know who your audience is and how you change the messages based on that audience so that you can be an effective communicator. The crisis issue management, as you move to especially a higher level position within AMA, the big tough issues that whether it's eligibility issues or how to manage an issue through the governance structure, those are the responsibilities that you take on that then translate into how you deal with those things on campus. And then we also would go through the public relations training, again, that kind of reaches back to being an effective communicator. So those skills are a given. We used to say a lot of times in AMA that if you aren't good in some area, you're going to be exposed pretty quickly with it, and you got to figure out how to get better in that area because the good ones are the ones that are put out there in front of the membership with a lot of things, and you have to become good at those aspects. The competencies themselves are typical of what you would see and want to have on your team then when you think about building a team at an institution, a senior leadership team when an athletic director is looking, or even in the position I hold now as a commissioner, what do I want to bring in for my senior leadership team? You want people that are collaborative, teamwork, they're inclusive, creative and innovative. They are able to offer up different solutions to issues and problems. They can empathize. A lot of times in AMA, the people that are there, we're dealing with, they may not have a coaching background, but we like in my case especially, it was very important for me to get engaged with coaches associations. Although I had never coached in college, it was very important, and from that to learn to understand the perspective of those coaches. But then through that, I also had the opportunity to develop some good relationships with high-profile coaches. So now, as I'm at a conference office, those types of relationships and how to navigate those things with individuals and how you work to understand their different perspectives are all things I learned through the AMA experience. At the end of the day, this is a people and a relationship business, if you will, intercollegiate athletics, and you have to have the ability to effectively work with a lot of different people. In AMA, you work across different areas of the national office, the coaches associations, as I said, faculty, athletic reps, athletic directors throughout the country, presidents, commissioners, and all that results in perspective, and that's what I think makes people then an effective administrator when they get on campus.
And that's today's One Question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.